Okay, so welcome everyone. Stephanie, why do I not see you anymore? You left us. There you are. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. People just come in as they come in. That's how it's going to have to work because we're on your time. But I'm glad you guys are here, and I'm going to open up for some questions first, and then I have just a little bit more information to share with you guys, and then we'll let you go on your way. So, both of you guys received your packet, right? You said 25, you had a chance to go through it. I know Iris said she was already, in the process of getting things together. Stephanie, you were too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Okay, so
Yep.
Are there any questions that come to mind regarding anything?
Yes.
Okay.
Could you explain the accountability calendar?
I sure can. Okay, so let me share. I want to share probably right here. Oops, no, right here. All right, because I have it on here, so I can go through and. Okay, so let me find it. Okay, all right. So you have a page like this that goes actually from the 6th to the 31st, and then you have a blow up of this checklist so that you can see it a little more clearly. But basically, like every day, you're going to on the yes side, you can just put whatever symbol you want to use. You can put a Y for yes on each thing that you do, like it says more fruits and vegetables. So are you eating more? Now this is not based on like, are you eating more fruits and vegetables than you did yesterday, whatever. This is, are you eating more than you usually would have done before the reset started? Okay, so if you're eating more, it's either yes or no. Complete shake. It doesn't have to be a complete shake. It's just a shake. If you're having your shake as a meal replacement, at least one meal a day, I don't care which meal that is, that would be a Y for yes if you have, or check off if you have. What I'm doing is if I haven't done it, I'll circle it. Like what I didn't do the other day, I really didn't do my deep breathing practice, like was number 6. So I had checked off. I just put a Y, 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 Y. When I got to 6, I just circled it because I didn't do that. So today I make sure that I already did it. That, said, okay, I forgot to do that. So today I can go ahead and check that off with a Y or with a check mark, meaning that I did do it. Me time, same thing. Sometime where you relax, you just Calgon, take me away type of attitude, and you just go do something for you. If you're doing, if you want to be read your Bible or meditate or pray, whatever, that's me time as well. Go outside for a while. Although we ain't going outside no time soon. It's too windy out here. But walk with nature, or sit in nature, whatever, or read it, whatever you do to relax you. And if you don't do it any time at all that day, then you would circle it as you omitted to do that. Okay, and turn off your screens. And then the no side, I'm just doing the same thing. I'm putting in no. I remember not to do these things, not to have caffeine or alcohol, not to have processed foods, not to have dairy. Once again, if you don't do it, I mean, if you do it when you're not supposed to be doing it, I would just circle, I messed up on that one. Okay. And so then you just come do, and it's just a way to keep you abreast. Like when I had to circle that I did not do my deep breathing, which I didn't even remember that I didn't do my deep breathing until I went through the list. And I said, oh, I didn't do any deep breathing practice today. So then I circled it. So that then I made sure that today I did do it. Like I've already done it. So I'm good with that. So that's what that is. That, and then here the before and after. This is optional with you. If you just want to like put your how much water you're drinking before this started versus how much when we finish, if you're drinking some more of it. If you want to say my clothes fit kind of tight, my underwear is a little pinchy, whatever, and then it's not when you finish or whatever, that's up to you. Any of these you want to mark down, or another thing, something else you might be looking at before and you want to see if there's a difference after. So does that answer that, Iris?
Yes.
And while we're here, I wanted to go, oh, here's Sabrina. While we're here, I wanted to go through the, because I messed up on the proteins page. So I had to have her do it again because I had 2 different pages, and one was just meatless and the other one was both. And so I still kept the title and I went to add things. So this is altered a little bit, revised a little bit. She did say that she sent you guys out a new one. So I hope you got that. If you
Yeah.
didn't, let me know. But
Yeah.
basically, this once again is to show you, because I wanted to talk about this anyway, because it's really important, especially if you're over 65 or over, but also if you're not 65. I mean, if you're under 65, but you decided to eat less meat, you know, you have a plant-based diet, you're eating less meat. It's really important that you are conscious about the protein that you're eating, and also especially
Yeah.
on this reset, it's important because you're having a meal replacement, and you're also either reducing your meat or eliminating your meat altogether. And your brain needs protein. Protein, a lack of protein or a lack of sufficient protein affects your brain, because your brain is about 10% protein. And if you're not getting protein, you're likely to higher risk for brain fog or poor mental clarity, poorer memory, you know, poor retention problems, all of that. It helps you with your protein, it helps you feel full longer. So if you're eating less, but if you're continue eating protein, you're going to feel full longer. And also it's going to help you sustain your energy. The protein itself is not going to give you energy, but the carbs are going to give you the energy. But if you're having protein along with it, it's going to sustain that energy for a longer period of time. Okay, so if you're feeling less energetic, a lot of people are telling me they need more energy. People are telling me, you know, they're not as energetic. They're saying that one person was telling me yesterday that they were starving, they were hungry. How much protein? And I know you're not eating meat, but look at all the other ways you can get protein in. And so what I do is supposed to be, because I am over 65, so I'm looking for half my body weight. So, and it's the same as, what's nice about it when you're 65 or over is that it's the same as the amount of water. The amount of water is half your body weight in ounces. The amount of, she says ounces here. I need to fix that. It's supposed to say grams. The amount of protein should be half your body weight in grams. Okay. And so you just think half your body weight. So what you can do, like what I did for the last few days, once you get accustomed to it, you don't have to keep tally of it, but I'm just keeping tally of it just to show you what you can do. Okay, like for today, I had my meal replacement as my morning meal. So I had my protein shake this morning, and my protein that's in my shake had 18 ounces of protein, and it had 14 plus had some other, plus I put a little more. So anyway, I had 18 ounces of protein for breakfast. Then I had my delicious salad that I just love, that I had mushrooms and eggs and avocado, nutritional yeast in it. And that totaled another 10, 11, another 16 grams of protein. Then I had a snack. I had my two tablespoons of peanut butter and some apple slices, and that gave me another 8 grams of protein. Then I also had a handful of almonds and walnuts. That gave me another 4 grams of protein. And then tonight, I haven't had it yet, but I made some lentil soup, and lentils have a lot of protein in it. And so if I have like 2 cups of that, I'm at 36 grams of protein. If I just have a cup and a half, I don't know which, I'll have 27. So when I add that all up, that comes to 74 grams of protein that I've had, none of which were meat. Okay. And so I will have gotten well past my 64 grams that I need for today. Okay, so if you try to add those up, and I know some are really big, like spirulina, it says a cup. You're not gonna have a cup, not gonna put a cup in your thing. So I just break that down. I'll say if I'm gonna have like a fourth a cup, I break that in 4. Same thing I did for my walnuts. I didn't have like 12 walnuts or whatever it was, or 12 halves. I had about 6. So I just broke that down and said I had like 2. Okay, so whoops, I didn't mean to go back. So
how many, if you're under 65, how many grams of protein should you have?
Under 65, you're supposed to have about a little more than a third. I think it's at 0.38. So I go like with instead of half of your body weight, you're gonna do like a third of your body weight. So if you're almost 65, I do somewhere around 45 or something like that, you know? So you're not quite as, or not 45, but I go figure out half your body weight in grams, and then I back off a little bit, because that's the minimum amount, you know. So because people talk about, you know, as they get older, they talk about their hair thinning, you know, they talk about their nails, their skin, they talk about being tired. A lot of that is because your body, as you're aging, does not do things as efficiently as it was. Because I'll hear people say, I'm doing the same thing I've always done. I'm eating the same food I've always eaten. And this is happening and that is happening, because your body's not absorbing it or processing it as efficiently. Therefore, you need to up the amount that you're doing so that your body can still end up getting the amount that it needs, because it's not going to be able to use all of it as efficiently. Okay, so protein is something really important. You see people that are elderly, and they're really frail because protein's in your muscles, protein's in your organs and things like that. And so when you see that, you need to increase their protein. And if you don't want to give them the meat, you see how much is in the meat, poultry, and fish. You get a lot of bang for your buck. For 3 ounces, you're getting a whole lot more than you would get in these kinds of things. So you have to be conscious of that and get a variety of different ones here. Eggs is a good source. Nutritional yeast was something you should be taking anyway as a salt shaker type of thing over whatever you can put it over. It has a cheesy flavor, but you can put over a lot of things. But you're going to get, for 1 tablespoon, you're going to get 5 grams of protein, and you're going to get your B12 vitamins that you also need if you're not eating a lot of meat, or especially if you're not eating any meat. A lot of people are deficient in their B vitamins. And so I use my nutrition yeast. I have it in a salt shaker, actually. And like I put some on my salad. I just shake it in there. You can shake it on whatever. When I do my boiled eggs, I shake the nutritional yeast over it, and get some more that way. You can put it in whatever you don't mind having a cheesy flavor on. I put it on my scrambled eggs. I shake it over there. So whatever that is. But I want to make sure you guys really understood that you really need to intentionally look at your protein source, since I'm asking you to reduce your meat or to eliminate your meat. Okay. Hey, Sabrina. Hey, Oliver. Iris, this is my husband, Oliver.
How you doing?
But anyway, okay.
Where is he?
Yeah. Hey, he got on the Zoom. Okay. All right. So any other?
I don't see him.
You don't see Oliver?
No.
Well,
Let me see.
start the share.
There he is.
Okay. All right. So are there any other questions anything else that comes to mind?
Okay, so I was reading through these things, and it was talking about bread someplace, and I'm thinking, I'm not supposed to be eating bread, right?
It's your choice. Hopefully, if you choose to eat bread, it's going to be sourdough or Ezekiel bread, some kind of sprouted grain. Hopefully, you're going to stay away from the wheat, because you're trying to get the gluten out of you. And Ezekiel and sourdough has a little bit. Well, Ezekiel has a little bit of wheat, but if you just have to have some bread, that's what you should go for, or not, or do without it. At all the way, whichever.
What's the cutoff for eating? I mean,
6 o'clock if you possibly can. I know some people's work schedules and stuff don't allow them to do that at 6 o'clock. So if you have to stretch it to 7, then do it. Do what you need to do. But 6 o'clock is for rule of thumb, is a good time to stop. And if you can give yourself at least 12 to 14 hours before you eat your first meal in the morning, that will give you more bang for your buck. So if you can go at least 12 to 14 hours before you eat before you break your fast, that allows your body to then start going to the keto method, where you're taking your energy out of you're not keeping it from your carbs, you're taking it out of your ketones, okay, which is a better, efficient way to temporarily do stuff, and will cause you to lose more weight. So like if you stop eating at 6, then from 6 to 6 is your 12 hours. And if you can go until 8, that would be 14 hours. If you can go until 9, that'd be 15 hours. If you go to 10, that's 16 hours. Okay, so the longer you can go before your first meal. Now, if you can't go that long in the morning, you can back it up the other end. You can stop eating at 4 if you can do that, which is a little more challenging to stay up. But if you go to bed sooner or whatever, but you want to try to get at least that 12 to 14 hours. If you can, 16 hours would be ideal. 16 hours of a fasting time before you eat anything. Not that does not mean not to drink water though. When you wake up in the morning, within the first 30 minutes to 60 minutes, you should have some water. You don't have to guzzle 16 ounces in the first 30 minutes, but if you can just have some water because your body is dehydrated, it's just a couple of sips of water, and then try to get your first bottle done within that first 2 hour span. It'd be good. Okay. And speaking of water, how are you guys doing with that?
I'm drinking more.
Say anything at once, huh? Do you know what you're?
I start off good.
You start off good. Okay, so in the first 2 hours,
I start off good in the morning.
Okay, so then what happens?
I drift off.
Well, are you keeping your eye on the clock?
No.
Okay, so you need to either, some people have to set their alarm on their phone or whatever. I just kind of eyeball the clock and glance at the clock and see where it is so that I can gauge my behavior better, you know. And it takes training on your part, so don't give up, first couple of days. But if you just if you don't make that first checkpoint, just keep going and do as best you can to that day. And the next day, as you get into the habit of having your checkpoints, then it should get easier for you. Okay. So, and also in terms of your goal, you may, if you're several bottles away from your goal right now, from half your body weight, don't try to guzzle all that tomorrow, because that's probably not going to happen. But just make a goal of getting better, So say you could say, okay, if I'm just drinking 2 bottles a day and my goal is 6 bottles a day, then this week I want to try to get at least 3 bottles, between 3 and 4 bottles done a day. Set your stuff up there, time yourself, and see how well you do. And then the next week you say, okay, it's 8 ounces, whatever, instead of trying to get it all done if that's not going to happen for you. And you make it a progression. So by the time you finish, you'll have at least double the amount of water that you had started off drinking. Okay. So what are we doing with screens? Cutting stuff off 1 or 2 hours before you get to bed. I know, Stephanie, you were being challenged with TV.
It was hard, but it felt good.
I got some books, and I'm saving my AARP reading material for bedtime.
Okay. What were you going to say, Iris?
I started it. It feels good if I can just keep it up. Okay. I have some books I started reading, so my goal is to finish those. Yay. And to do those 2 hours before I plan to go to bed. And then I have to do it in a different room of the house.
Yes.
I have to. So I'm using one room as a reading room.
That's good. So that's a good strategy.
That's where I will do my reading and meditating as well. So my reading is in that room. My meditation usually is before I even get out of bed.
Okay.
I do some stretches before I get out of bed, and I listen to 15-minute devotional, and so that's kind of my meditation. That's good. Good. Sabrina, but as far as the turning off the technology, turn off the technology, so because you have to make sure whatever your plans were for the day, whoever you had to speak to or catch up with, all that's got to be done before, So that's kind of hard. Yeah. Or you might have to apologize for a while to people. Well, that's what I just cut it off, and then they're still trying to get a hold of me, and my phone's off. So the next morning when I get up and look, I go, I said, I apologize. I said, I'm developing a habit of shutting things down, at between 8 and 8:30. So if you call after that, I'm probably not going to get to you until, the next day and whatever. Yeah. And once they understand that, they pretty much respect that, or they know that if you don't answer that you've cut your phone off or whatever, and that you'll get back to them. So that you have to kind of retrain your friends and stuff to, get them privy to what you're trying to do, that helps. And I have, go ahead. I have
television in every room. Not, and
Uh-oh.
I didn't buy them. I just happened to inherit some, but I have a television in every room. And what I've done was about 3 months ago. I just put this. I have a throw with the design on it. Put the throw on top of the one in my bedroom, so I
Okay.
won't think of.
So is that
But
working for
I
you?
have televisions for noise, really for noise. If I'm in the
Right.
house cleaning and
Right.
but that's but it's crazy now that I look at it. It's like, why do I have a television? I can't go anywhere for peace.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're surprised how how it is affecting you and stuff when you cut it off and stuff, and how much you can get done. When you're in quiet and stuff, you can get a lot more done actually, and you don't think it's being distracted or whatever, but a lot of times it is. But it's good. So
Yeah.
covering your TV in the bedroom, is that working for you?
Yeah, in the bedroom it does. It does.
Okay. So Steph, you might want to put a notation down for you. Oops. What?
I know how to take the things off. Iris doesn't know how to take hers off. I'm hitting the remotes, put them in another room.
And you just go get it, huh?
Just go get it.
Oh.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was putting my remotes in the nightstand, but and then they're in the bed with me sometime. It's
So we just have to
it's just
make
a
a
bad
decision.
habit. It's a bad
What
habit.
I have done, because Iris, my problem is I might go to bed, but I need to turn it off by 8:30, right?
Mhm.
I might get into bed at 5:30, 6:30, 7:30. So what I did was, whatever time I get in the bed, if I have that TV on, I set the timer to go off. That's my segue into not turning it on until I can keep myself out of the
Yeah.
bedroom.
Well, yeah,
I set the timer. I set the timer too, but sometimes when it asks you,
don't work. You just cut.
when it asks that question,
Yeah, you say, well, I need to finish watching this, and they go to time. But actually, the researchers say you need to have boundaries for what you're doing in your bedroom. Your bedroom should be your sanctuary, and it only should be, for sleeping or for, hooking up with your husband or something, but it should not really be your office space. It should not be like you're saying, as you're doing your meditation and stuff out, reading and stuff in another room. And that's a good idea because you also are training your brain, just like you train that your pet or something, what they can do, what they're not. You're also training your brain what it's supposed to be doing when it gets into this bedroom. And it needs to know that that's my shutdown time. That's my relaxation time. And it's not my finishing up my office work or, talking to my friends in the bed time. They say
Can I listen to the Bible on CD? No.
Well, you have to find what works for you. Some people say yes, if that's relaxing and soothing and calming for you, and you don't have a problem getting to sleep with that. Some people say yes, some people say no. So I would try and see what, experiment and see what works for you. That's just like the white noise and stuff. Some people say they have to have white noise, they have to have the water fountain going in the room or whatever, and that helps put them to sleep. Other people say it keeps them awake. So it depends on how you're affected by that. Okay, Sabrina, I'm trying to get to you because I know you were you were doing roller coaster sleep issues. What's going on? Are you still here?
Yes, I'm still here. Sorry.
How you coming?
Kind of still in the same place with the sleep.
You're still what?
Kind of still in the same place with my sleep habits.
Okay. But do you know what you need to do? Are you still, or you need to refresh what you need to do?
Yeah, I need a refresh and a reset
Okay. So we'll talk about that to try to get you back on course. I know you were doing well, and then your job and stuff took you into another season.
Yeah. Back in the office, so
yeah.
My schedule's not the same every day.
Yeah.
I used to have a problem with the sleeping because I was running up and down the road caring for parents and working, all week. And then I just went and had a sleep test done, and it showed that I was waking up, and I actually was my breathing would stop. And so my CPAP machine is like a drug. Now I can put it on, it'll knock me out, but I don't want to be knocked out because I want to do other stuff. But it's like a drug for me. I put it on and I'm out.
You're out. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
But I just have to, make myself put it on because I want to.
Mm-hmm.
But it helps. But I didn't realize I had an issue, till I took the sleep test.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, and as you get some other things, a handle on some other things, you might see that you don't need it as much.
Right.
So that'll help too. Okay, I also want to talk about, we talked a little about eating after 6. Anybody have any other questions saying about the intermittent fast to stop eating after 6? We're good on that? Okay. Oh, yep. No.
I try to end my eating with like yogurt and blueberries.
Okay.
And if I'm out long or something, then that's what I'll have regardless, even if it's 8:00.
Okay.
I just go ahead and have because if I don't, then I'll start trying to get something else, like fix a meal or something. So my go-to at night is yogurt and blueberries, whether I'm hungry or not. I mean, that's what so I won't go looking for something.
So you won't go for something that's more dangerous.
I mean, we don't eat because we're hungry. I mean,
right. A lot of times,
so I can go look in my pantry, open the refrigerator 100 times. I might not take nothing out, but I go look in there, So I don't watch TV in my living room much anymore because I said it's just I get up too much and go look in the refrigerator.
So, okay. Well, at least you know that's one thing to do too. You have to learn your triggers, learn what sets you off into the wrong path, and address those things and recognize them when they're happening so you can choose to do something else. Because sometimes they say if you think you want something to eat or whatever and you really don't feel hungry, do something else first, do something else is going to take you 5 or 10 minutes away from going to get that thing that you just think you want. And a lot of times that distraction of going and doing something else first changes your mind, and you find that you don't have to go get that, whatever you're about to go get. So they say that sometimes works for people too. Okay.
I have one more question. What fruits should we avoid?
High sugar and high starch, like bananas, things that have a lot of sugar, a lot of starchy stuff. That's what you want to try. You want to try your berries, and I'll just say what you should eat. And okay, let me go back. You should try because I think I gave it to you guys. Okay. Okay. All right. This Campbell's chart, did you get this? Okay. Here. Berries is what you should. Hang on. Pineapples is really, really sugary. Bananas have a lot of sugar in them. Any dried fruit or whatever has all that condensed sugar in there. So you should not be going with that. Stick with your blueberries, your strawberries, your blackberries. How come strawberries aren't on here? I don't know. Okay, strawberries should be on here. Cranberries, not dried cranberries, but cranberry juice or not really juice either. Cranberry sauce or something anyway. But I think that's supposed to be strawberries. Anyway, so you're going to go with this berries, basically, or you can do, you have water-rich vegetables in here? Okay. The water-rich fruits and veggies, okay, like your cantaloupe. Cantaloupe is sugary, but it has a lot of water in it. Grapes really have a lot of sugar in it. So I would not go with grapes, really. I would go with, instead of having grapes, I would have the blueberries or the blackberries. I would not go with bananas. I wouldn't go with grapefruit because it has some honeydew melons. Mangoes. Mangoes are good for you, but they are very sweet. They have a lot of sugar in it. So if you're going to do that, you're going to do that not often. Dates are very good for you, but they also are full of sugar. Use that more as a sweetener, more than as a really
thing. What else? Like I said, pineapples, no. Pears have a lot of sugar in them too. So I would go basically with your berries and green apples. What else? Kiwis are very good for you as well. I don't think they're full of sugar, but
What about figs?
figs have a lot of sugar in them.
But they're good with fiber. They're good
they're
with
good
fiber.
for you. So we're saying, okay, so it depends on what you're looking for at the time, you know, what you're looking for at the time. Because if you're looking for fiber, yeah, and you're also nutrients, yeah. But then if you're eating that, then you're gonna have to shortchange yourself on sugar somewhere else, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's gonna be your sugar and your fiber. And so you're not gonna go get sugar somewhere else, you know, because you've already had sugar when you get this, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but these are all full of water, so these are very good for you too, and full of fiber, of course, too. So it's good for you too. But you just can't pig out. Like you really can't. Like I'm just saying things you can like. You can't pig out on bananas and stuff, but you can pig out on blueberries because they're not. You know, you can't pig out on those kind of things that aren't real sugary. So yeah. So. Okay. Are there any more questions? The only other thing I wanted to add was the spiritual side of this that I wasn't to add to it was a couple of scriptures that I'm putting like for our inspirational scriptures for our Reset 25. One is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. So when y'all get in that moment, maybe you can run that across your mind. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Also, you keep your body under. This is First Corinthians 9:27. I keep my body under, and bring it into subjection. And that's what we're trying to do, because we have to remember that we live in a body, but this body is not who we are, Right. And a lot of us will succumb to what our body is telling us it wants. You spirit, you won't be telling your body.
Which was it, Nisi?
Huh? Which what?
First Corinthians.
1 Corinthians 9:27. Okay. Because I like the part where it says, I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest by any means what I have preached to others, I find myself a castaway. By any means, it's because it includes because of what you eat. You're not going to be no good for nobody because of what you doing to your own body, So you have to keep this body under subjection because you want to be able to be used. And you don't want this body, the reason why you can't be doing what you're supposed to do, You be out for the count because of what you let your body tell you it wanted. And that's not even you. We have to remember that we have millions of residents residing in us by God's design. We're made of dirt, right? And in dirt, there's all kind of microbes, right? And they're all inside our body now, and they have jobs to do. They keep this body functioning. They maintain it for us, for our spirit. So our spirit can live on this earth, in this earth suit, but our body can't dictate to us what we're going to do. Because unfortunately, we have some of those residents that gut bacteria and stuff. They love sugar, they love fat, they love salt. They don't like oxygen, so they don't want to exercise. They want to be in an environment that does not have a lot of oxygen. And if you listen, and they do communicate to your brain, and if you go listen to them and let them become addicted and listen to them, then you're not going to be able to keep your body under. People tell me all the time, I got to have this, I got to have that. You are a spirit. You ain't got to have nothing on this world. That's your body saying it got to have, not you. So we have to keep that in mind. It's a process, so don't get all guilt-ridden and stuff. Just remember, sometimes I have to tell my body, you know what? How you feeling right now with this little hunger thing going on? That's how you're going to feel for the rest of the night, because I ain't eating again. I ain't eating again. So y'all need to shut up. And what amazes me every time is when I wake up the next morning
I don't hear that noise. I don't wake up the next morning hearing all that stuff. All the craziness they were doing the night before has dissipated and they're good. So they were just having a little tantrum. They're having a little tantrum. They got over it and we moved it on, you know? And that's what we have to do. We have to keep this body under. So I hope that helps you. I don't want to preach to you, but I hope that helps you, because sometimes we have to talk to ourselves and tell ourselves what's going on or what it's going to be like. Okay. All right. So that's all I have. I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you for coming on. I'm going to record this so you're going to all get a copy of it, whatever. And the people aren't here as well. And, just connect with me if you need to talk to me or whatever, don't understand something or whatever. And I hope you watch the video that I sent. It should have been emailed to you, talking about to make that 10-day plan your own, Don't think you have to, but make it something that you can do, because we wanted you to be able to sustain yourself through this thing. Okay. All right. So any other questions? We good? Oh,
Yep.
I do have a question about sauerkraut.
Okay.
Is it any sauerkraut will do?
Refrigerated raw sauerkraut. Don't get any sauerkraut that's in the can, because that's everything in there is dead. So it tastes good, but it's not really doing what you think it's doing for you.
So
get the refrigerator.
So you eat the sauerkraut plain? I have some in my refrigerator.
Okay.
So you just eat it as a side? Side?
Yep, you can, or you can put it on top of stuff or whatever. Whatever however you want it, whatever works for you. But yeah. If you can just eat it plain and stuff, that's great. That's more nutritious. If you don't have to cook it or whatever, then that's the more nutrients are still retained in it if it's raw. Okay. Is that it? We good. We out. Okay. Talk to you guys soon.
Okay. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.